Hey there, thanks for joining us here today, once again at New Labs in Brooklyn at one of our testing facilities here in New York City. You may have noticed something different about me today. Can you see it? I'm wearing mascara, but still the same person with still the same qualifications and competencies, I assure you. However, today I want to talk to you about one of the most commonly asked questions that we get from a number of different people. It could be farms, it could be investors, it could be just people really excited about what we're doing, but really trying to understand the science and the know-how of like how we control for sterility and consistency, which is incredibly important when it comes to agricultural nutrients and inputs. So the question specifically is, how do you deliver a consistent product if your raw materials, quote unquote, vegetative byproducts or waste, is variable? So let me kind of give you a very clear visual of the raw material, right? So we source these types of food waste. You can see broccoli, carrots, corn. This makeup or composition of food waste is the same every day that we receive it. And the way that we assure that is because we work with selected suppliers and we verify that they also have the right protocols, food safety standards, and reporting to make sure that if, God forbid, there's any type of recall, we're aware of it and we can communicate that transparently through our supply chain. But more importantly, the waste type and the volume does not change, because as everyone recognizes, what's in this composition, this raw material, right, does impact the nutrient composition or the nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium that is available to the plants. So we have to make sure that we get the same makeup of the food waste or the vegetative byproducts every time that we receive that. Now the sterility comes down to how we actually pasteurize, which is our first pathogen kill step in processing this raw material and turning it into a liquid, water-soluble, organic hydroponic nutrient, which is our way we grow and has an NPK of 411. So pasteurization is essentially subjecting any type of food, oftentimes beverages like milk, to high temperatures and doing it for a specific set period of time. At the minimum, we subject the food waste to 150, oftentimes 175 degrees Fahrenheit for a minimum of 30 minutes. And the way that assures us per US EPA 40 standards is it's a pathogen destruction under a controlled and monitored method that is heavily documented. And so we hold daily records of every batch of product that is produced at our facility in upstate New York, and we also send test samples to third-party labs for microbial, which means food safety pathogen tests like E. coli and salmonella, because we want to make sure that our standardized process has no introduction of risk to our farms. So I just want to reassure, we thoroughly thought through how we source our raw materials, how we process it in a way to remove any pathogen risk, and how we control for, document, and monitor to ensure that we're on top of accountability if there were to be any type of risk at the farm. We always have a way to trace back in our documented process. So thank you so much for joining us here today. Really looking forward to the next question.